over here, and I don't like this over here. Gently. It's a long way down. Hey, morning comrades. So I've arrived yesterday at Tecalet, and here check out the place. As I suspected, the French people are gone that were here. You know, people leave early. There's that guy full of stickers, don't know where he's from. There's that crazy outfitted van there, snorkel and steel bumper, all that stuff. These people behind me, just a regular car, they're leaving. Yeah, and this place is kind of like you just drive along the beach and around these little dunes, you pick a spot. Some rooftop overlanders there. It's a pretty good area actually. These little hills, mountains look pretty good. And some RVs and so on parked in the distance there. So La Paz is just around the corner over there. Well, not just, but it's over there. So the plan for today is to hike the coast, going to Cabo Pulmo, and then later, well, maybe I'll camp in that area. And if not, then I'll proceed or start going to José del Cabo, something like that.
So this is Sergio and Sebastian, they're France, right?
France, yeah.
And Spain?
From Spain, Barcelona.
Yeah, and we just kind of, well, I got your story, we chatted around.
And well, I didn't start shooting, my mistake, I should have done it, but I'll tell a story on the way, his story, and it's awesome. The guy is doing
story,
it.
because he's the star of this Ganesh.
He's got
the Instagram page with 3,000 followers?
Almost 3,000.
yeah, this little guy. He's so friendly. But so we're traveling in this. What's the make of it? Subaru Forester right there for about a year and a half now.
63,000 kilometers.
Yeah, 63,000. And the plan is to be on the road for maybe about 12 other years.
12 years, depends on
The whole world.
the whole world is the destination. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll tell a little bit later about it. How do you say it correctly?
Ganesh way.
Gainish way, right there. All right, let's see. I'm gonna choose one. There you go. His Instagram, his tag is here now. Get running from Monday. Kind of want to keep collection on windows here of like people I meet on the road. And for any branded stuff, it should be down below here. Yeah, if you want to sponsor me in some way, send me stuff, this and that, you know, you could be right here. That drive to Cabo Pulmo, it's gonna take a while, right? It's not, I'm not taking highway, it's all like dirt road and through mountains, supposedly sketchy, someone said. I need a connection to confirm what that sketchy means. And they are living just as me as well. See you guys! So it's 11:30, I completely messed up on my timing, and I wanted to do oil change in La Paz, change of plans. Can still ride with what I got till San Jose, Cabo Jose, Jose Cabo, whatever it's called, or till Cabo San Lucas. That's where I'll do it, because I got a rush right now to Cabo Pulmo, and hopefully, yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll catch it still at sunlight. Well, probably I will. but to enjoy it properly, probably not. So maybe tomorrow I'll spend in that area, camp out, I don't know, we'll see. So today is December 28th. I hang out with these guys for way too long, but it's kind of cool, and I regret, like, it sucks that I am not on the clock as most of the people I meet who are, you know, here for months or traveling for years. Like that French dude, he's been traveling for like 8 years now, just working on the road, just like Sergio, you know, and I'll touch on that in a little bit. And it would be nice, you know, many times to just hang out, spend a day with some people you meet like that, but you're on the clock, gotta go. So somehow I need that full time. Oh my god, it's hot, let's hit the road. So Sergio and his girlfriend, they started in 2017. They flew from Spain to Quebec. On him, he had only $3,000. They bought for $800 that Subaru Outback 2002, and you know, a few camping equipments. And then worked a little bit in Montreal, I think a couple of months. Then they traveled to Canada, and for winter time, because he never seen snow, for winter time he like, oh, I want to stay in Banff. So in Banff they actually worked for well, mainly him, they worked for about 6 months. Because of their dog, they couldn't get free accommodation sponsored by hotel, so some money was wasted there. But he was able to save up. The last 2 months out of 6 months, he was living. They were living out of a car. He managed to save up 15 grand Canadian. So then, on that money, they went to BC and all the way to Tuk, Arctic Circle, and then made a push to. They didn't visit Grand Canyon, those areas. They just made coastal scenic push from BC down to Baja to do this winter here. But they can't import car to mainland from here. They didn't do it at Tijuana. Apparently you do need paperwork done for importing car at the border crossing, not just at the ferry right here, because that's what he bumped into. So then they're gonna go up north, maybe in a couple of months. And how they've been living is exactly that, like just working here and there. And the plan is for him to cross the whole world. That's the idea. Go down all the way to Argentina, then port to New Zealand, then port to Australia, then cross Asia, all that stuff. Now the other guy, Luis, he's been on the road for about 8 years now. He's French. Both of them actually 30. They're both 30 years old, so younger than me. The Luis started 8 years ago when he was basically 22, so still kind of young. You know, didn't have things in life, didn't have sort of comforts and careers and all that building stuff. So definitely easier for younger crowd to do stuff than when you're, you know, a little bit older. You're used to certain comforts in life and you don't want to lose it. But then again, it's just mental change. You gotta switch off at some point. And so Luis does a little bit of photography. He even on the other side of Mexico, he took some nice pictures, printed them, and was actually selling them on the beach, like for tourists. Little income, but it's still something. So all 8 years he's just been traveling to countries and doing odd jobs here and there. Like in Canada, he worked a little bit at construction for a couple of months, saved him some money, living out of vehicle, and just keep on traveling. He went to Nepal for like, he was in Thailand and went to Nepal for like half a year. And I asked him, did you have to work in Nepal? He's like, are you kidding me? They earn like $3 a week or something. It's pointless. But life is cheap. So he's traveled around, and he doesn't want to stop. He wants to continue. Yeah, it can be a little bit of a hustle to earn some income here and there. It's definitely not a lot, but you're not paying mortgages, you're not paying rent, bills. The only thing is gas, a little bit of repairs here and there, and food. So, for example, already escaped me the Spanish guy's name I just mentioned. He estimates, at least in US, Canada, life for both of them, well, for each one of them, costed about $15 a day. That's including set aside a little bit of money for car repair for long term. So $30 for 2 people, that's minimal living, and their setup is very minimal. For example, in Canada, both the Spanish guy and Luis, they had to do a little bit of berry picking in the season. Not a whole lot of money, but it's still, oops, that's some weird roads here. Not a whole lot of money, but it still gave them enough to cruise around. You know, it's living the life, but very, very minimally. Like, I want to do that, but their conditions, I'm sorry, maybe I'm not 20-year-old, but I do still want to have a little bit of comforts in my life. Like, the guy doesn't even have solar panels. I'm like, dude, if you're trying to build a little bit of your social media kit, he wants to like invest in solar panel, buy it. Like, he doesn't even have money to charge a cell phone when they're like that boondocking. Like, there's no way, and they don't want to burn gas, obviously idling. Like, you gotta keep your presence. You gotta, on Instagrams and all that, you gotta post pics. Like, you can't just be out there and not do stuff for months. And he realizes that he wants to look into it. It's definitely sustainable, but still, like, I would like to, for example, if I'm full-timing, be able to afford a little bit of restaurants here and there. Like, you know, truck breaks down, trucks cost a lot to repair. And but actually, my next, like, if I was full-timing, I don't think this rig is good enough. I absolutely love it, but it's meant for like 1 month, 2 month, maybe 3 month kind of trips. It's not for like full-time living. Like, you can, but for my comfort levels, I don't think I would be able to live in it for like a year. Like, I do want something where I can stand up, like a little bit of room, like proper kitchen, just something that feels like tiny little bachelor apartment in Japan somewhere, you know, like super tiny, but it's still an apartment where you can stand up and do stuff. Here, you know, you can only, I think I can only would be able to take it so much. I mean, if you have to, like on budget, whatever, life happens, like you can still do it and track that. But you know, if this is about living a life in a dream, traveling, kind of want to have a little bit of comfort. Still many years away from this, I am, because again, I need to build up my YouTube, my social media. I want a little bit of passive income happening, save up some money. Just as I do more of this and get into it, I want to have more solid plan. I don't want to just abandon everything, just go and then figure out on the way. No, I want a little bit of structure to this. I want to be prepared, so it's actually nice and comfortable when I do it in time to come. So I'm approaching the area called Bahia de los Suenos. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly. And this is where this eastern mountainous road will start, kind of off-roading. and I checked the internet message from Robert Jackson, I think his name. He posted some pictures. He did a Jeep rental in a hotel nearby a few years back, and locals advised him, "Ooh, don't take this road." And he basically said, yeah, it's sketchy, it can get narrow, it can get like steep declines, inclines, all that. So not very, yeah, I'm a little nervous. I just hope it's not too bad. Like, I'm ready for something light to medium-ish. Again, I have big clearance and all that. So clearance I don't care about. What I care about is off-camber stuff, my center of gravity, big off-camber stuff, and cliffy off-camber things. Ooh. Steep inclines, well, yes, I'm worried, I'm heavy. It depends how steep, right? Like, if it's something like 30% grade, 40%, like if it's 40% grade, there's no way. I'm probably gonna bust some gear or something trying to pull myself up. So the road definitely gonna take a little while to connect back to Highway 1, going through mountains. Or I could have just taken highway to Cabo Pulmo, I don't know. I'll see. I'll check out the beginning of the road. If it gets kind of sketchy, not for my liking right now, time is key also. Then we'll see. I've entered the town San Juan de los Planos, I think that's what it's called. No idea what planos is. Plantations maybe? Or plantains, maybe bananas. I think it's maybe plantations. Overall, as I descended down to this valley, it seemed like it's very lush. It seemed like there are some farms here, so this is probably farmland of some kind, for some fruits maybe. So I guess Bahia de los Suenos translates as Bay of Dreams. Probably. So it says in English there. And lots of fishermen here. I just stopped at some kind of beach club right here. I guess Robert Jackson's hotel, where he recommended to swing by as a detour to this bay, was somewhere over there. I got a truck over here, also from BC, little Tacoma, and my path is supposed to be crossing these mountains there, hugging the coast. It's probably a long ride, very long ride. It's 1 o'clock, I feel like a little beer, so I'll stop over there in the restaurant, pick up maybe Indio, Pacifico. I don't have those in my stash. Whew. Yeah, I'm not gonna get to Cabo Pulmo today at decent time. Maybe I'll camp in the area and tomorrow spend the rest of the day there. I have no idea what it looks like even. Maybe it's a touristy trap.
Civilization, beer from a bar, like a normal person, not on the road. Gracias.
So yeah, it's just private houses in the area. This is the only bar and a hotel in the distance there. That's all there is here. It's so serene. I wish I could stay here for the whole day. It's that constant rush, driving to places. It has a toll for sure. I would prefer longer trips and not as much driving, that's for sure.
Para que se vea goteando tantito.
Nice catch. Yeah. Good job.
And last thing I want is encounter some obstacle that I don't have a way to turn around. That's the worst. That's the worst. Where you need to give up on the trail, but you can't. I've bumped into that before. So essentially last year, where you reach point of no return. You just have to bite your teeth and continue forward and hope for the best and hope for your vehicle it doesn't fall apart and you got the necessary skills. So I've been done that, and I'm just more careful about my driving and risks I take and the bills I need to pay afterwards. I talked to construction workers, the ones that kind of spoke English plus sign language. So I asked, is the road to Boca del Alamo, is it good? Like, is it okay? They're like, yeah, it's okay. We're like in your rig, yeah, that's fine. So then I'm like, well, is it off camber at all? And you know, you can show the sign, right? Like sideways, up, like with hands. He's like, no, it's just up and down, up and down. Like, I'm like, okay. So then I'm like, well, is it narrow or wide? Just with hands, like narrow or wide. He's like, no, it's not too narrow, it's okay. So just reconfirmed again, like, so you think I'm okay? He's like, yeah. So yeah, I guess here it starts. This is it, right there. Oh, it's already in the beginning becoming a bumpy ride, so it's time to deflate, but I'm still having doubts. It's just time. How long is it gonna take? I hope the climbs are not very steep. It's actually not a long path over the mountains. It actually says 25 minutes. Well, I know reality is more like at least an hour. It's like in my rig, in places I find it whatever time says in these trails, it's almost like double, triple time. Well, unless you want to be too risky and go fast and not be careful, but I'm far away from home. You know, probably what, like 4,000, 5,000 kilometers. So I can't afford breakdowns. I need to be extremely safe right now. So if it means go very slow, then I'll go very slow. So let's assume it's an hour. Not too narrow, but narrow enough to feel uncomfortable in a full-size truck. But you certainly get the views. Yeah. For low, of course. For low all the way.
especially on the climbs like this for a 4-ton vehicle. So this is essentially what I'm doing. Just started, I'm still here. Need to cross these mountains. That's a 22-minute ride supposedly, and then you get down to normal roads. So let's see. Actually, I gave it a second thought, and you know what, for bravery and all that, it's always good to have a beer. I think I need one, and it's hot. Yeah, beer time. And yes, I drive better with a couple of beers while doing this kind of stuff. The tiredness levels and fear levels go slightly lower. Hey, Modelo. Where are you? Modelo. Fetch myself Modelo. So, Brad, if you're watching, well, I know you're gonna be watching. Is this the path you guys took last year to get down to Cabo Pulmo, hugging the coast like this, or you meant the sketchy kind of cartelish sort of mansions with towers and machine gun guards, or is this just along the highway kind of thing, getting to Cabo Pulmo? Well, let me know in a comment. I don't like that rock over here, and I don't like this over here. Way down. Yeah, there is that behind. Beautiful views, time for pictures. I'm past the climb, so now it's just gonna be like smaller climbs, and more or less the road is gonna be like on a level sort of, as I almost hitting the mountain ridge, maybe a little bit more climb. But yeah, I guess afterwards it's gonna be a little bit downhill. Touch the bush, but I needed to make that turn, so my wheel actually lands where it needs to land, and that's the problem with long wheelbase. Your turning radius is big, so sometimes it's extremely challenging to make a tight turn up there on a cliffy side somewhere. But yeah, so far the road doesn't seem that bad. There are some pull-offs, kind of turnaround areas. So if you take it and you feel skittish, you can always turn around. And so essentially this road goes from, where is that little town? So here's La Paz. La Ventana is up north here. You go down, this is highway, and you take this road down. And essentially you can drive along the coast later. There's some even hotel down there. Drive, and you end up Los Barriles, and then at some point here you jump highway and go Cabo Pulmo. That's the route. But that's what I like about the truck versus, let's say, some van life, van thing. Certainly there is more comforts, but in both things, when you want to get on the trail, a little adventure, you really triple think about where you're going. With truck, not so much, especially jacked up like mine, lifted, all that. Again, my only big thing is now with this weight is off-camber thing. As far as clearance, I got all the clearance in the world to do whatever. So overall, this trail I would give it for full-size truck like a good medium, and again, not the whole stretch. Mostly it's just okay, regular off-road. There's some spots that's a little tricky in a full-size vehicle. One spot I felt like, whoa, I'm so off camber, but there was no cliff. It's just the way the turn was. I almost felt like, whoa, I'm gonna flip, but now I know my limit. I was like, at least like, whew, I was very on the side, and I was fine. So that's good to know. And that's on airbags. Let's see. Whoops, that's airbags on 50 psi. Okay, and on 38 psi tires. But overall, for something like Jeep light vehicle, or like I bumped into those guys, I think they're on 4Runners. It's light. Maybe a couple of sections medium. Yes, you're gonna scrape a little bit with bushes here and there. It doesn't matter what vehicle you got. That's okay. It's any given trailer. That's not nothing to classify it in any kind of difficulty really. Once you go off-roading, it's almost certain you should be prepared to scrape your vehicle with bushes. Yeah, Jeep, whatever. Like if I had a Jeep here, even store, like you don't need a lift here. Well, a couple of places for short wheelbase and unlifted might be a little tricky, but if you go slow and spot and careful, it's okay. So for a small vehicle, I would say very light medium, with a couple of medium sections. For a big vehicle, mostly still kind of light, but more sort of at medium difficulty spots here and there. And this Russian saying goes something like this: the slower you go, the further you will get, which is true. You just gotta be gentle, go slow, and everything will be just fine. Then there's this view that opened up. Awesome. Just awesome. And if I was full-timing, this would be ideal spot to just park right there and make this my spot for the night, but I have to continue. So just past this little house, I see a whole lot of luggage, and there's a woman with a kid. It's like it's the middle of nowhere. That's, I guess, what you call a little bit wild tourism, I guess. Actually, the road to get here from south, probably not too bad. That's how we arrived here in this little house. Yeah. Drove to their beach or whatever a little bit. I had to ask, like, what's going on here? What is this? So, guys from Alaska, they got 2 weeks. They stayed in one place, Airbnb, like a week. And this is their second place, Airbnb, middle of nowhere. I'm like, how did you even find or drive to this place? Because there's obviously no address here. They're like, oh, they just give longitude, latitude coordinates. I'm like, got it. I was just astonished. It's like I descend down and it's like mother and a kid. What? Yep, that happens too. They obviously came on the southern portion of this road, and the southern portion is just like whatever. You're almost on the beach level now. Well, a little rocky. Yeah, but it's nothing serious. I'm just bouncy, but really any SUV can do this road right now. It took me about 3.5 hours actually, this road. I know it's ridiculous. Well, those BC guys I bumped into, they said an hour and a half roughly it took them. Small vehicle, lighter, so it makes sense. And they don't stop to shoot videos and all that kind of stuff. And right now it's 5 o'clock. At 6, sun is gonna be really down. So I guess I'll get to some campground, probably official, near Cabo Pulmo, and I'll start my day there tomorrow. Well, hello.
Howdy.
Where are you guys from?
California, Oakland.
Aha. Well, I could spot you in a mile away.
Oh, really?
All that orange.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, okay, Overlanders, got it.
Where are you
Nice,
from?
nice. BC, Canada.
Okay, a lot of BCers down here.
Surprising, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm amazed. I just bumped into a... I guess you came from that road?
No, we came from this way.
Oh, you're still...
That's your air locker?
Airbags.
Okay.
Yeah.
We came from that way.
Theo, sweetie, step back, please.
I see. So you're gonna go all throughout that mountainous road?
We're gonna what?
Mountainous road, all the way to
We're
the north?
probably gonna camp on the beach tonight.
We're just one.
Yeah, but later you're gonna proceed to that road?
But I don't know, should we? We're just exploring, we don't have plans.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to take it carefully and
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah,
Should be fine.
yeah.
Cool, you got a solar panel there, the whole shebang. Quick drive to the beach at Los Barriles. Let's see what Canadians love about this place, because this is already the second time I bumped today at people, and they say for some reason a ton of Canadians here in this place, in this little town, village, whatever you want to call it. Probably lots of Airbnbs, all these little houses. Well, it's secluded, it's definitely away from civilization. That's probably what people like. So that little town I stopped at for beer, it wasn't Los Barriles, this is it. And then passing that area that Brad was talking about, where there's supposedly mansions with armed guards and all that. No, I haven't seen any armed guards, but the houses here are definitely multi-million houses. All along the coast here, multi-million. Like very rich looking houses. So I was parked on the side of the road, and two girls, like young girls or mother and daughter or something like that, stopped by like, hey, you okay? I'm like, yeah. So started chatting. Pretty much this is Buena Vista area. I'm like, hey, you staying here? They're like, no, but we're visiting someone. And I'm like, so is this the place where a bunch of Canadians hang out? She's like, yeah, we've seen a lot of them. And apparently it was last year that there was something going on in the area, because I asked them like, hey, is this the area where there are like tower guards and all that stuff, like cartels or whatever, whoever rich people live here, Mexicans? And they're like, no, it's mainly like expats. And they said last year they visited, there were tons of police and military in this area, but this year nothing. So I am passing that area. So looking at Cabo Pulmo, right here. This is our Overlander app. Lots and lots of spots, and I'm here. This is about 1 hour drive. So So I kind of scouted these locations, so you can click and you can see what people say, different comments. But I've decided actually to stay at Los Barriles, this spot here, Playa Norte. People saying there's like a bunch of expats, like it's almost like people permanently settled there. And it's basically giant arroyo right here. Yeah, this is the spot. Just basically pick a spot here. So this is where I'm gonna go after this dinner. Whew, finally home. So full right now. But I can't relax too much. I got SD cards to copy from previous days and prepare everything empty for cabo pulmo and the rest of the stuff, good stuff in coming days. Yeah, watch some movie, have a beer. That's about it. Till next episode. Hey comrades, don't forget to hit that like button and also leave a comment, and if you haven't subscribed yet, you should by hitting that subscription button and also bell notification next to it, so you can actually get my video updates both in notification in your video feed, and as well you can support this channel if you like my videos through PayPal or Patreon in the links down below or just after this video.